What do you think it means to form a new friendship with an international student? There are all kinds of things that you can try. You can have a picnic, celebrate birthdays, celebrate holidays, any kind of day with an international student. It might be as simple as setting an extra plate or two at the dinner table.
There are just so many stories that in my head I can think of. One particular is I have some friends have invited me to go back home with them for Thanksgiving, and that was my first time to experience American holidays and just met all the family, extended families as well, and they really welcomed me into their family and make me part of their home. So ever since, I have go back with him for 3 years in a row for holidays. So I'm really grateful for them.
I have a really good relationship with my friend Steven. He was my brother roommate, and I'm really close with his family. I spent the Thanksgiving with him and his family, and that was amazing.
You might enjoy studying languages. I've learned how to say hello in a number of languages. Ni hao ma, annyeonghaseyo. Japanese is konnichiwa, Arabic is kaif al-hal, and it's fun to learn the languages. I spoke with one Chinese student and said, ni hao ma, how are you? And the Chinese student was shocked and said, oh, do you speak Chinese? And I said, absolutely. I can say sweet and sour chicken, fortune cookie, and Mongolian beef. And that was the beginning of a wonderful friendship.
The people that I stay with, they really helped me, like the family that I stay with them. They welcome me as a family, as a member, and we cook together and we laugh together, and it just changed the world for me because of the deep relationship that I felt toward them.
Giving birthday gifts, celebrating graduation. What a milestone to be able to walk through that wonderful accomplishment with a student from South Korea or from Saudi Arabia. Being a friend doesn't mean having some checklist of things that you want to do. It's as natural as making a friend in your own neighborhood. Spending time together, going to the zoo. Maybe your family is doing something as simple as going to Walmart for a shopping trip. Swing by the dormitory and pick up your international student adopted friend and take them with you. They need to buy things like paper towels and school needs, and they would love just to spend the time with you. And we always swing by the ice cream store on our way home and have ice cream, and it is a delight to them. So being a friend is as simple as reaching out in care.
So they invite me for everything. Like first thing I had here, it was Easter. It was in May. So their whole family came, like my host family father, like his family came, his grandmother, his mother, his father, his brothers. They have a big family, and to have this was my first time to have an Easter with American family. It was amazing, new experience. See these new people and just live like an American family. It was an amazing experience.
The list could go on and on of how we can reach out to and care for international students. And what works in one situation to welcome students may not work in another. So you need to be creative as you can be.
A perfect example was yesterday. I decided I was going to stay at the library all day, 8 a.m. to 8:30 p.m. because I have finals in 2 weeks. So I didn't think about food. All I needed was just 2 extra large, energy drinks, and I was good. And about noon, my phone rings, and it's Mom, my American mom. And she says, hey, I fried plantain. Now, plantain is a Nigerian food, right? When I say that to my Nigerian friends, they say, an American can fry plantain? But she told me, I fried plantain and I'm bringing some for you. You don't have to leave your studying. Just open your car door so I could put it in the car. That's just, the little things matter. So to me, it's not like I wasn't expecting it, but at that point, it was just like, Lord, thank you.
I often go to my American friendship family's house, then eat dinner together. Then I was said, I'm very nervous and it's difficult to catch up my class, but one of my mother said, you can do it, and please show me your assignment, I will help you. So it's so amazing for me. Even if I'm very struggle with assignment or some life things, they often always said, you can do it, and we can help you, and we can think about you.
So what's next? Well, we've talked about the growing numbers of international students on our campuses. We've talked about how they feel lonely and often very isolated. We've even shared some ideas that might be able to work with your family or in your church. So now what about you and me? Well, if you feel inadequate, welcome to the crowd. Most of us feel a little nervous when we step outside of our comfort zone into something that's new and unique and unusual. But the Bible promises we have everything we need. And even when Jesus talked about going into all the world, he said he would promise to be with us always. So where do we start? Most universities with international students also have international student offices. In these offices, there are very helpful people who would love to match you up with an international student. Maybe you've traveled to one of these foreign countries. Maybe you've been in Japan or an African country. You can even request a student from a region that you're very interested in. These international offices are so good at matching people up with an international student who would fit perfectly into their family.
It's individually, if you want to just take them under your wing and say, hey, after church Sunday, why don't we all go eat together, or our family's going to go do something, going to go fishing, you want to go with us? And, it's just not a long commitment, just once in a while, maybe once or twice a month, do something with your family or with those students. And it makes such a big difference in their lives.
For us, one big help was working with a group of people that were already doing it, And so if that's possible, if you can find out if other people have done it, are doing it, and you can get advice from them and kind of be a part of a team like that, that'd be the best. If nobody else is doing it and you're the only one, it will work. It'll work out. Just pray about it, have faith. God will lead you and help you.
I know some families that adopt international students that are the same age as their college-age children. It makes them feel more of a family. So international student offices are an excellent place to start. These programs might be called friendship family programs or even host family programs. Most of these programs are not resident programs where students move in and live with a family, but they are more informal. They're programs where you can celebrate birthdays and you can be as involved as much or as little as your time allows. I want to encourage you to begin today. You can call the office. Many of them are on websites of local universities. Some churches have a team of people that reach out to international students, or you could start one of those teams to reach out to international students. Don't be afraid. If you invite an international student to your home, it's very likely they'll bring a friend or two, and you'll have even more students to enjoy a new relationship with in your home and with your family.
We had invited them to come for Christmas, just one friend, a Chinese friend, please come for Christmas. And he said, no, I'm too busy. And we called him again and said, we'd love to have you, the kids want you to come. He said, I cannot come. So we left, went and visited my parents and got back on Christmas Eve, because my big thing on Christmas Eve was we're going to watch the Jesus film and eat junk food and then wake up in our home on Christmas Day. We pulled up and there was not one but 3 foreign students on our porch they had just decided to go ahead and come because we had invited them, and we were not ready for that at all. And I was like, and it was our Chinese friend and 2 Malaysians, so another culture to relate to. But in that, we pulled up and just took 2 seconds to just go, okay, Lord, you brought them here, just help them enjoy the Jesus film, because that's what we're doing tonight. And the weekend turned out to be fantastic because they had never been the two Malaysians had never been in an American home before. No one had ever invited them, and they had been in school for 3 years. Not one American had invited them into their home. So here they're on our very significant holiday. They're with a family who, open arms, we received them. We, quick unwrapped presents and rewrapped them so they could have presents. And it just, again, it's just that dynamic of warm relationship. You just see that that's really what makes life worth living. And these kids, for the first time, got a different impression of America than they ever had before.
Well, I would say any holiday that you invite students who have nowhere else to celebrate the holidays. And if your relatives are going to come, alert them to the fact that we will probably have 1 or 2 international students celebrating with us.
First thing, don't be afraid, don't be nervous, because as international students, we came here with the mindset we don't speak perfect English. We came here to learn. We came here to learn how to speak better English. So we need people like you guys to help us to improve.
Just talk to me and face to face and speak more. And because the Japanese people is kind of good at listening or writing, except speaking. So speaking is so hard. So that's why I'd like to listen real Americans speak English, and want to see smile or facial appearance and gesture and Americans people's thinking. So that's why I really wanted to know the Americans peoples. So please talk to me more.
I don't know, they think Brazilians are dangerous, but we are not danger. Most of the Americans think we are dangerous, and don't worry about Brazilians. We love everyone. We love everyone, and that will be great.
Well, I would say first thing is, like, as you know, with technology now, it's so easy. Just you can go to like internet, say like culture about this country, whatever you want to know. And second thing is, like students usually they know, they understand, and they know that you're not offending them, and you can like ask sometimes, oh, is this offending you? I mean, just don't be like stressed. I would say don't be worried about it or afraid. I mean, just like ask, or like maybe you can also like search it. You just like, I mean, they would be so thankful that they are having you there. I mean, they know that you want the best for them. You're not like trying to offend them or anything. So don't worry about it. Just enjoy the moment. That's what I'm gonna say.
I think I have been blessed by God that He put so many great friends, great families in my life, have definitely changed my life and shaped my life. So I do encourage American families will be open enough to accept a student, and maybe just for a meal or for a movie, and to let them see what the real American life is. It's not all what they have seen on the news or TV or some movies. So just let them have a real taste about the American life.
The average family has everything they need to begin reaching out to international students. Your family has everything you need. We don't need, I'll tell you what we don't need. We don't need expensive plane tickets. We don't need passports or visas. We don't need those painful shots. We don't need to go through airport security. And you don't even need to speak a foreign language. What you do need is an open heart and an open home. Every family has all they need to reach out to international students. And it may come down just to asking questions and listening. Maybe the best gift that you could give to a foreign guest is the gift of listening. Asking questions about their family, their home, their study, their future, their fears, their holidays. One Japanese student was at our Thanksgiving table, and I had no idea about his culture, and I said, is there any holiday that's similar to Thanksgiving in Japan? And Yasu kind of smiled. He said, No, the Pilgrims never made it this far. Well, we have such a close friendship because we can ask questions that may not sound very wise, but we can still develop this relationship just by listening. Sometimes it comes down just to say hello. Inviting students into our home is where it all begins, and we have everything we need.
We had an Albanian student live with us for 1.5 years who is still like a son to us. We've had Lao people in our home, Chinese people, and people from India. It's just been so rich, and our horizons have been so expanded that we're not the same people, and hopefully they're not either.
Yeah, well, Christ has called us to love people, and I think that's the main motive for doing anything with people. The motive is not to convert them, but it's to love people, to help people, genuinely help them. And so if somebody says, well, why are you helping me? Or why are you helping these people? It's because I feel like that's what God wants me to do, to love people.
Do unto you, others as you want them to do unto you. If you were going into another country, wouldn't you just love to go to a Japanese home and be invited and eat at their table and just be treated as part of their family? I mean, sure. So why not do it here and expose your children and grandchildren to those kind of things? I think that's almost a Christian duty that we do it.
You know, I wonder if God is maybe giving you a gentle nudge, just like he did in the case of Philip and the Ethiopian. We've been talking about international students and even refugees, but I'm wondering about the people who serve your food at the Chinese restaurant. I wonder about the Hispanic family that may live down the street, or others that you come in contact with just in your daily routine. I really wonder if God is maybe giving you that gentle nudge. Befriending international students is putting our faith in action. It means living the obedient lifestyle that Jesus called us to. It's all about relationships. It's all about people. It's all about showing others the love of Jesus, the same love that he showed us and the same love that he has welcomed us with. And after all, doesn't following Jesus mean living by a different standard? Doesn't it mean caring for people like he cared for people? Doesn't it mean reaching out to them like he reached out to them? It means living a life of obedience and faithfulness, all in terms of the relationships that he gives us with those around us. I think you'll be surprised when there's someone sitting at your kitchen table that calls you my American dad or my American mom. So beware. If you begin this journey, it's going to be a wonderful ride.